Singapore's Collegiate Clash Finals of 2021 presented by CMGArena and also powered by Stat Banana. And yesterday we seen a flurry of matches, right? In the group stages, we had back and forth fight. It was really nail-biting as I was casting alongside with Lumos. Let's look at the group stage. Thus far, we have Geiger Counter in the top, Duo followed by Duo Poly, and then Barrier Free, Carpark, and Tampines Poly. So these four groups will advance to today's games. So let's look at the format that we have for today. We will have actually Barrier Free, Carpark in the Venus semi-finals of A versus Duo Poly, and also in the Venus semi-finals of B, we have Geiger Counter versus Tampines Poly, and whoever that wins this match would actually goes on to round 2 in the Venus final. So let's bring on our casters for today. We have Lumos as well as Trifundus. Hi guys, yes, do introduce yourselves to the viewers, man.
Lumos, please.
Hi,
okay,
yes.
Lumos.
So yeah, I'm Lumos, not Minecraft Lumos anymore. Someone was making around like a tracer yesterday. But apparently now I'm Gay Pride Day Lumos because this is all gone wrong somehow once again.
Gay Pride Month. Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Oh, now you're back.
Yes, Pride Month. Anyway, okay, it's back to normal. Yeah, but I'm Lumos, and back to cast once again. And alongside me is Try. Say hi.
Hey, I'm Triple, and it's a pleasure to be back casting for this winner's semi-final. Can't wait to see the massive plays that's gonna go down in about, very shortly.
Yes, very shortly indeed. Okay, so the games that we're gonna watch later is gonna be Duo Poly versus Barrier Free Carpark, where we had, basically yesterday there was a bit of a snafu between Duo Poly and Barrier Free Carpark of the group stages round 1, where we had basically a walkover for for Duo Poly, where Barrier Free Carpark did not actually show up to the game. So, it was a forfeit sort of thing, and that was what won Duo Poly instant win over Barrier Free Carpark. But however, since yesterday's grudge match or match wasn't concluded, so today we actually see both these teams facing off each other. So Lumos, let's start with you. Do you have like any thoughts or any favorites, or who do you think is gonna win for this matchup?
Yeah, my thoughts are that Bubblekitty is a real talented player, but clearly not talented to play 2 games at once. Yeah, Valorant and Overwatch. I think he was busy with another tournament in a different game yesterday during the first match, and that's why he wasn't available. I think both teams are very strong. Barrier Free Carpark obviously has a ton of big names, really high hopes coming to this tournament. But the Duo Poly showed up yesterday and just put in some great performances across the board. So it will be a very close match. If I had to predict one team, I would say Barrier Free Carpark. But it could go either way.
Okay, how about you? Instead, Try. Do you have like any favorites or anyone that you think that's gonna take the champion for this round?
Champion. It's a very tough one. And I was looking at, as what Lumos said, Bubblekitty's performance is anything.
It's McCree.
It's nothing short of outstanding. Like every hero that he played yesterday just showed us like a brand new level of awesomeness or some form of epicness. Whatever he's on, I want some of that for my competitive games. So I think I'm a huge fan of Barrier Free Carpark, but we'll see. I mean, Geiger Counter is very strong, and maybe even the Polytechnics might surprise us. We never know.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's look, however, at the lineup for Duo Polytechnics. They actually have quite a good tank lineup here. We have Ski Savant, Apple Tree, Chroma, Osiria, Melvon, as well as Nibrino. And how about Lumos? You introduce the other, unknown team that we have in our roster here. We have Barrier Free Carpark.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the lineup. Actually, I do want to say that there is a role swap going on for Duo Poly. Apple was on support yesterday, and now it's moved over to playing tank. And Melvon's coming in for the support role. I think Osiria's moved from tank to DPS, in fact. So a bunch of switches there. A bit hard to keep track of what's going on, but these are great players. I'm sure they'll do great in whatever role they choose. So yeah, all right. Let's take a look at the next roster then for Barrier Free Carpark. No big surprises here. All 6 players present this time around. Ampha and Xenofly tank line. Some great plays yesterday. Some absolutely huge moments. Bubblekitty and Deadpool, they need no introduction. A very famous DPS lineup in the local and regional community. And Croissant and Claire, the alliteration support duo.
Okay, however, let's talk about what has transpired in the group stages. We had Dover actually having a win, probably a walkover on Barrier-Free Carpark. Then we have a win over Tampines and HOW. And also, they did actually lose a game to Geiger Counter. So Geiger Counter is actually looking to be like a strong contender in this finals thus far. And it seems like for the maps they have lost, it seems like they have lost Nepal, so I wouldn't think that they are too keen on Nepal. However, on the side of Barrier-Free Carpark, we have a win. They won against Tampines and 4x lecture speed. So no surprises there. But however, they actually did lose against Geiger Counter. Geiger Counter has been, thus far proving themselves to be undefeated thus far in the tournament. So Havana, Numbani, not their greatest strength. And looking at what we've seen yesterday, Lumos, like the lineup or the tank lineup, they were playing a bit of dive, a bit of sometimes they had the Rhine Zarya going on. Like, let's look at the map pool in the first place. Like, what do you think is the King of the Hill map that's going to be played, and what lineup do you think that Barrier-Free Carpark would utilize in this best out of 3?
Well, of course, we have moved to the playoff stages, which means, just like how Overwatch League does it, it's losers pick maps. But for the first map of every series, we have the highest seeded team choosing maps. So this, I believe, is actually a Dover Poly's pick of Lijiang Tower. I think we'll see no big surprises here. No team's going to try any funny stuff. The Wrecking Ball, probably not the Double Shield. I expect some fairly standard stuff. The Reinhardt, the D.Va, the Reinhardt Zarya. And maybe some of the Lucio, Moira, Winston, D.Va sort of rush comms that we've seen a lot as of late.
All right, how about you? Try like any, do you have like any lineup? Like, because we've seen like what Lumos mentioned, Barrier-Free Carpark, nothing too surprising there. Is there like any cheese that you might think might be plausible to work against Barrier-Free Carpark? Maybe Dover could pull off some Symmetra?
Versatility wise, I think seeing Bubblekitty play yesterday, he might actually go with a Pharah. So I might see a Pharah on the side of Barrier-Free Carpark. That said, though, I think Exil, when I was playing against him last year, they were trying out some sim strats. So strat might come out here. We don't know.
No Torbjorn? No cheesy strat?
Nah. Torbjorn is very, very unpopular here because of the space.
Yeah, that's true. So, okay, guys. Lumos, we mentioned yesterday, like you basically you think that Barrier-Free Carpark is probably gonna win in Lijiang, but it seems like they haven't been winning a lot of their what do you call that, the King of the Hill matches thus far, and it seems like usually when they win is a comeback situation. So do you think that they will face an issue against Dover, because Dover did essentially get a win against Geiger Counter as well in the King of the Hill?
I mean, more than that, right? This is the first match of the day. Some teams probably not fully warmed up yet. Still a bit rusty, still a bit sleepy. Gamers don't really wake up till like 5 p.m. And control maps are so control maps are so chaotic by nature, so unpredictable. If you lose the first fight, someone puts a foot wrong, you lose the first fight, and the whole map just goes wrong for you from there. Cheese strats wise, Symmetra, it's a bit of a meme, but at the same time become increasingly popular. Night Market with Double Shield, or just TPing straight to point on Lijiang Gardens, that sort of thing. We've seen a lot of it as of late, so I wouldn't be surprised if either of these teams, or even both of these teams, goes with something like that.
Okay, I would really want to just touch on, the patch notes that actually went live on June the 3rd. We have a bit of changes to Baptiste as well as Echo, because the ultimate charge cost has now increased by 15%. Do you see Echo being a viable pick as far as Lijiang Tower goes? Because it's, traditionally a Pharah-centered or Pharah-heavy map. What are your thoughts about Echo being used for Lijiang?
I mean, definitely. Echo is still a strong pick here in Lijiang Tower, mainly because it is a stronger combat person in the skies, stronger than Farah, I feel, mainly because, her kind of jetpacks have a smaller cooldown, and her sticky bombs are just so powerful. And I've seen, Echo versus Farahs, and most of the time, unless you're a really good Farah, Echoes always win the fight. So Echoes are still strong here, but maybe, it'll take longer for ultimates to kick in. But I think
that is true.
Yeah, Echo is still very viable.
Yeah. But in, let's say, Lijiang Gardens, right, you have Echo as well as maybe, do you see a Mercy? Echo Mercy usually goes along quite well together. How about the tank lineups if, let's say, you'll be playing an Echo Mercy into Lijiang? Let's say Gardens, for example.
I'd very much like Diva Winston, because if, say, the opponent has a counter Echo Mercy, at least the Diva and I, me being the Echo, can harass the Echo in the skies, pin him, make sure he stays on the low ground so that my Winston can finish him off. That sort of thing. Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Okay, guys. I'm not sure if you're ready for the next match that's about to happen. So the first match is gonna be Lijiang Gardens. So we're gonna let's have Lumos as well try to take it away with the match.
Thank you very much, Teddy. Yeah, you were talking a bit about the Echo earlier. Honestly, Echo is kind of hard to play without a Mercy pocket. We've seen teams do it in Overwatch League, but it's a bit of a Frankenstein clomp. You think Rush, you think Dive, you don't really think of Echo. You think of Lucio Moira, you also don't think of Echo, right? So Echo, it's a lot stronger when you have a Mercy pocket. But of course, it doesn't really fit some of these other composition archetypes, right? If you want to play really fast with a Winston Diva, you need the Lucio and you need that burst healing. If you want to play a Reinhardt Zarya sort of comp, you do need, again, that burst healing and the speed from a Bap Lucio. So it's a bit awkward to make Mercy work in some of these comps, and as a result, Echo's effectiveness is a bit limited too. So yeah, if we do see like an Echo Mercy or a Farah Mercy, I expect some big variations in the rest of the composition from whichever team pulls it out.
I would like to point out though, Asparagus yesterday played an amazing Genji, and you realize they didn't really have a nano to back him up on that nano blade. So, Echo Mercy may not be the pick for any of the teams, but an Echo on its own may still be, somewhat of a possibility.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But it is not the easiest composition in the world to pull off. Well, anyway, we're about to get underway. Lijiang Tower Gardens.
Both teams starting with the Sim.
The Symmetra. Is either team going to stick with the Symmetra? Looks like they aren't. And
it looks like a first mirror match.
Yeah.
The only difference,
a lot of mirror matches so far this tournament.
The only difference is the coalescence from Croissant and Nibarino on Peace. As I say that, Bubblekitty is the first to get a pick on the Rhine. That's a really huge pick. I'm assuming very few Carpark want to push this, and they do. What a strong push in from Xenofly already. Bubblekitty just mopping up the kills.
Yeah, look at that aggression coming in from Battlefield Carpark. They know they have to play quickly with the Lucio Moira, and no hesitation. After getting a pick on the Reinhardt, I think Deadpool was on actually 1 HP there. Gets out with his life intact. He's going hunting for Assyria, who picks up a health pack. So the reinforcements are here for the rest of Battlefield Carpark, and Assyria will fall. And someone's internet connection has fallen apparently. Looks like it's the main support for Dover Poly.
Win trading.
Oh, well, that's pretty early to give the game away. If it is win trading, looks like Nibarino left us briefly. He's back. Oh, but we're going to cut away from the game for a moment anyway. Yeah, some early technical gremlins. Earlier we said it's the first match of the game. Stuff can go wrong, and seems like a bit of hiccup so far.
But it was very interesting. Like, even in that one fight, we saw Battlefield Carpark was non-stop dominating over Dover Poly, and I'm not so sure if it's indicative of what this series is going to look like, but they did show us an explosive start.
Yeah, and you will see that Battlefield Carpark, I think, went for the bridge. They crossed the bridge and got to the point first. And I think the Dover Poly was sort of stuck in that white room a little bit. And generally, that's not the best place to take a fight. You're always fighting into a choke point. always having to push out into more damage into the area of space that your opponent controls, and that may have contributed to the main tank of Dover Poly falling a bit sooner.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's just the control battle of the space right now, as we see how Barrier Free Carpark just made full use of those spokeways, alleys, and Xenofly is just around the whole map. Crazy what runs through his mind as he rushes to cut people off LOS. Not so sure. That guy is next level. I can't really comment.
Yeah, and I think it's also interesting to point out that both teams running out with a Brawl comp or a Brawl Rush sort of hybrid comp with the Reinhardt and the Lucio, and it's a big AoE healing from the Baptiste or the Moira. And normally you see those sort of compositions with a McCree and a Mei. You wall them all off, you rush into them, kill them, that sort of thing. But here both teams actually opting for the Tracer, so not the most conventional pick in a comp like that. The Tracer obviously doesn't have the same sort of consistent damage, from a slight off angle that a McCree can put in. You don't get the wall, which is a very good win condition in a comp like this. Instead, the Tracer, much more skirmishy. She can go off, do her own thing, not so reliant on the teammates. So to me, what that says is that both these teams have great confidence in their DPS to carry, to make plays, and to really, find value on their own. That's an interesting thing to see.
I think maybe what Barrier Free Carpark wants to do with their Tracer is harass more of the backline, because we saw briefly Xenofly's POV, how he just wrapped around the back there, and I think maybe Deadpool might be able to capitalize on Xenofly's just random harassing and actually get a pick off their backline. I think that's what they're trying to do with their Tracer pick, but I'm not quite sure about Dover's Tracer pick right there, because Osirio was kind of taking the off angles from the start. I think maybe he wants to try to get an early pick. I'm not too sure.
I mean, Dover Poly was running the Baptiste Lucio backline as opposed to Barrier Free Carpark running the Moira Lucio. And the one thing that one of the advantages of Moira is that she has this fade cooldown, this fade ability on a pretty short cooldown. So if a Tracer gets a bit too close to comfort, just press shift and get somewhere safe. And the Baptiste on the side of Dover Poly, not quite that same luxury. If someone harasses you, if Lucio isn't quite next to you at the point in time to boop the Tracer, where you could be forced to use your Immortality Field, this very valuable ability on a long cooldown. So the supports for Dover Poly do have to play quite a bit more carefully with the threat of a roaming Tracer in the backline.
And I mean, Croissant can just beam Tracers down. I think that's still also a viable thing to do. You don't really need to shift away as of yet. And I mean, so maybe it's just as you have surmised. Barrier Free Carpark might be a bit more aggressive than Dover. So we shall see.
Yep. So some technical difficulties here, a bit more than anticipated. Seems like we've had multiple disconnects from either side. And we've had to restart the entire map just to again make sure everyone's in safely. And surprise! It's a different point on Lijiang that we're going to.
Night market.
Night market, yes. Well, this is one of the places where the Symmetra really does work. If you have double shield or some other form of heavy spam damage, and you can establish a presence on the point nice and early, that could be what you need to set yourself up for like a very long and comfortable hold on point. So let's see if Dover Poly sticks with this Junkrat.
I think Barrier Free Carpark would know how to fight this, but yeah, they're not sticking with the sim.
Yeah. Oh, Dover Poly actually.
Oh wait, yeah, they
Dover Poly. Yep, teleport straight to point. Here we go. Well, Skeeterman loses his mech very early on, and the baby diva, the pilot diva, dispatched off just as quickly. Dover Poly are set up on the point, but they're taking so much poke damage from Bubblekitty, who finds two. The turrets are doing a bit of work, being a slight distraction, but it's nowhere near enough. And Barrier Free Carpark will steamroll their way onto the point. So, pretty quick first fight there. You saw what Dover Poly were trying to do quite clearly, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I think those early picks really help Barrier Free Carpark push in. But is it just me, or is the stream lag?
Yeah, I think it's not just you. It's going a bit wonky on my end as well. You do see... Oh, here comes the engagement.
I mean, I'm seeing just bits and pieces right now. I don't know what is going on, but Bubblekitty, I think, has popped a high noon somewhere, breaking Schizophon's mech as if it was paper. I don't know what's going on.
Not entirely certain. Well,
it's pretty scrappy.
Yeah, it's pretty scrappy. You know, a couple of ultimates invested there by Barrier Free Carpark, but you're fine with that. Oh, they've actually made their way. Okay, yeah.
It's finally back to normal, I think.
Yeah, it's back to normal, and Dover Poly has taken a point while that's happened. You will notice they've swapped over to the Sombra because the Symmetra much less useful when you're trying to retake a point as opposed to hold on to it.
And Nasura already has 90% all charge.
Yeah, I mean, the EMP is so critical. Oh, here comes a bomb, could be dangerous.
Early bomb from Xenofly catches no one, but however, Claire boops off Schizophon off his mech, and both divas down for both teams. Ampha already on the point, but Bubblekitty is the one who finds both Chroma and Melvon, allows Deadpool to get the pick off Niborino there. Dude, this guy is just, I don't know, he's clicking heads or...
Yeah, it was a pretty cheap fight win for Barrier Free Carpark. I'm not sure they used a single ultimate there. Not too many invested from the side of Dover Poly either, but that's fine. Here comes the EMP. It's countered nicely by the sound barrier from Claire on the Lucio, but Ampha will still fall in the meantime. Some counter ultimates coming out now from Barrier Free Carpark. Xenofly lets the bomb go, only finds the mech.
But Osira gets picked off. Osira picks off Xenofly while trying to remake. The bomb gets Schizophon's mech, and that allows Deadpool to set up for a huge depth loss and killing off Niborino and Chroma. They're dying right now, but Meowvan is the only one from Double Poly getting that response pick, but unfortunately he dies as well.
Yeah, but a pretty big investment of ultimates there from Double Poly, but Barrier Free Carpark, I think they had pretty much 6 ultimates ready to go, so they were ready to respond to whatever Double Poly threw at them. So last fight territory now, we are in overtime. Barrier Free Carpark chasing Double Poly into the point from their side of spawn. And now it's just going to be clean up for Ampha, running forward, cleaves through the members of Dover Poly, and that will be the first point going the way of Barrier Free Carpark.
It isn't still one-sided. We love to see that. We love to see that fighting spirit from Dover Poly. Unfortunately, they only got 40%, but that's still pretty good against a semi-finalist, IVGF semi-finalist.
Yeah, and you know, they clearly had the right idea of how to retake the points once the Symmetra defense stopped working, you know, to go over to the Sombra. And it didn't quite work, but you could see the idea behind that composition swap.
And we're back
back to Gardens, where we started.
Where it might end. Who knows?
That is true, it might end. And you know, we are, as a reminder, doing a best of 3 best of 3 matches here, so the ties could be over after just 2 maps, unlike yesterday. So some of these matches could go by fairly quickly. Let's see what Dover Poly has to offer in response.
Chroma gets the first pick of Croissant.
That's a good start.
With their main healer down, Dover Poly can push this and Barrier Free Carpark can or must retreat, and they are doing so. However, they are rotating. Someone is rotating on the far right. I think that might be Deadpool. While the rest of the team charges past this bridge.
Yeah, Barrier Free Carpark don't want to give the point away to Dover Poly just yet, but Asura wins what looks like a 1v1 with Deadpool in the back line. Fight still going here, the Immortality Pill is used by Dover Poly, so that cooldown gone. They do get rid of Ampha and Xenofly, so no tanks left for the side of Barrier Free Carpark, and this will have to be a reset.
Beautiful first fight from both teams, however questionable.
Oh, what's this?
High Noon gets Apple out of mech though. That's really good. So now Barrier Free Carpark can actually retake this.
You're right, it's great value from an unexpected dead. I am pretty sure Apple was not expecting that to come through.
Oh, but here comes an Am Matrix, and you don't want to fight this beautiful Am Matrix by Niborino there. Allows Chroma and Apple to pick up Bubblekitty, and Apple can now actually take the remake here. You know, we can only see, I think they're just trying to, and yeah, Apple gets a boop off Deadpool, and Claire just resets.
Yeah, it's a great proactiveness coming out from Dover Poly, using the ultimates to negate the manpower disadvantage that they had. You can see Assyria just looking around. He knows that there's going to be a Tracer appearing there at some points. Actually, the entirety of Barrowfree Carpark is going to be coming from that side.
Dover Poly looking really strong. Nice deny there by Xenofly. However, Assyria catches Bubblekitty off with, and there's a huge shatter from Skizavan catching 4. And just like that, Barrowfree Carpark has to reset yet again.
Oh, what a turnaround. This map compared to the previous point, everything seems to be going the way of Dover Poly. All of the ultimates are connecting. No, apart from that one little hiccup with the DMAC, the Deadeye, it's just been smooth sailing so far for Dover Poly. As Barrowfree Carpark will once again try this White Room approach. Let's see if it goes better for them this time.
I'm not saying anything, but Nibarino's early DC there might have been a bit more tactical, as both sound barriers are popped along with an Ant Matrix, but it'll be Bubblekitty who'll be finding this first pick on Skizavan. That's really big. However, Assyria constantly landing pulse bombs, breaking off Ampha's shield and his will to live as he falls. Bubblekitty gets high noon by Assyria, however, gets cut out, and Bubblekitty clicking heads right now. He just snaps Nibarino's head right off his neck there, and Deadpool gets that clean kill on Chroma.
Yeah, no, everybody popping ultimates and cooldown right there. Very nice Ant Matrix to try and deny the entries from Barrowfree Carpark, but the NTU side just using the beat to engage. The Russian to point, there's a counter beat, but maybe it doesn't land on the main tank of Skizavan. He falls, and the fight slowly goes the way of Barrowfree Carpark. Nice attempt at flash over the shield. Doesn't quite connect, but it does force the Ant Matrix out.
That is a huge shatter from Skizavan yet again, picking out 2, and that allows him to get 2 picks, both on Bubblekitty and Moira.
Yeah, this round so well played from Dover Poly. They just, know exactly what they need to do. Oh, this Heck Lucio. Probably not going to last very long.
And we're going all the way here, I think. Even on the first match of the series, Bubblekitty just trying to help his team, but he just falls to Chroma. Chroma rising up to the challenge here. He sees Bubblekitty and he takes the challenge.
Well, I suppose Dover Poly needed a map to a point rather to wake up a little, and he came back with a vengeance on Lijiang Gardens. So
and
interesting to see both teams. Yeah, perhaps. Don't know what part they may have played. But both sides, sticking with the Reinhardt-based composition, even on such an open map like Gardens. So, it goes without saying, they will stick with that composition as well. Here in the really tight and enclosed point of Lijiang Control Center. Showing off a Path to Pro spray there. So the TP once again from the Symmetra for both sides coming out. No surprises there, and Dover Poly are sticking with the Symmetra. Assyria.
It'll be Deadpool swapping to the Reaper, and that's gonna be really good in these close quarters as Skizavan rushes in to try and take out Ampha, but he lives. Oh, but that's short-lived. But however, Deadpool at the back line picking up Chroma there, that's gonna be big. Claire takes out the Sim. Apple micro missiles Deadpool down right now. Bubblekitty trying to save this team fight, but I think, yeah, Barrowfree Carpark is gonna win this first initial team fight with lesser members here. Ooh, Ampha dangerously low yet again. Bubblekitty trying to deny this. It's just non-stop fight after fight.
Yeah, but crucially, Barrowfree Carpark did get control of the point at the very beginning, so all this while the control percentage is ticking their way. Early I field goes down instead of Dover Poly, but they do capitalize and take down Ampha. Xenofly also loses his max, so no tanks left for Barrowfree Carpark.
Deadpool picks up Chroma yet again. Apple with a big bomb on both Claire and Xeno. Bubblekitty.
Yeah, the right hand was dead for Barrowfree Carpark, so nothing to hide behind there for Xenofly and for Claire. So they will fall, getting approximately 1/3 of the capture, progress needed on this point. Dover Poly still with the Symmetra. Obviously, you do want to play together as a tight unit with the Symmetra. The Reaper a bit more free to flank from the side of Barrowfree Carpark. It comes a Deadeye for Bubblekitty. Actually, they're just going to wait. Oh, a bit speed high noon there, maybe from the side of Dover Poly. Doesn't find anything. Oh, there's Symmetra in trouble.
Oh, you don't want to take this fight if you're Symmetra. And Deadpool can just clap Wasura away. And it looks like Barefree Carpark, yes, they are gonna win this fight here as Deadpool just mops up the remaining members of Dover Poly. What a huge start and a bit of an overstep there by Wasura on that sim.
Yeah, I think Dover Poly just got a bit disconnected there because, you know, I think only the Deadeye was invested by a Barefree Carpark. So very cheap fight win, but they managed to pull the tightly knit unit of Dover Poly apart and find kills, pick the members off one by one.
And Matrix goes down first, but it'll be Deadpool who find the kill on Skizavan. And with that, despite both sound barriers being popped, it'll be Barefree Carpark winning this team fight yet again.
Ampha playing with fire there. He went down to pretty much 1 HP, but he got the kill on his opposing main tank. Now 66% on the board. This could be last fight if this drags on for long enough here at this choke. Here comes the beat and Gage. Oh, Barefree Carpark need to kite this.
Oh,
Shatter
doesn't connect. Yeah, it gets cancelled and Skizavan can just plow through, chopping away at Bubblekitty. Asura can now finally get the kill on Claire. Apple just cleans up Deadpool. The members of Barefree Carpark desperately trying to stall this, and they can't. No, but they can't recontest it as Ampha is the only remaining member there.
And Dover Poly with the aggression there, the sound barrier engaged. Barefree Carpark not quite quick enough to disengage from that, as Croissant not quite quick enough to run away from that Deadeye. Chroma arriving within line of sight of the spawn of Barefree Carpark. Oh, that's a different problem. Asura gets caught up. They're making plays and Lucio.
Man.
There goes the main damage loss from Dover Poly.
And he had ult too. Here comes the high noon. Xenofly's bomb takes out the immortality field. Does not allow Bubblekitty to get that pick there on the high noon. But Chroma finding the kill on Ampha. Skizavan takes out Deadpool. And Dover Poly can actually hold this yet again. And this is kind of scary because Asura has his tire. And unless they deny it.
The tire could be big. Oh, here they don't want to let them get in the door. The early tire comes out, wraps around the outside. The field
Chroma picks up too. Oh, it looks increasingly bad for Barefree Carpark. Dover Poly. A sound barrier being popped here. Overtime right now. And could this be another 5-minute hold? I'm not so sure, but Claire is dancing around the point. Deadpool picks up Asura, but a sound barrier is popped. Then Amp Matrix High Noon goes down. Oh, the Shatter connects with 3, but doesn't allow Chroma to get the pick. Ibarino picks up Bubblekitty. Skizavan MTDing Ampha. Chroma kills Claire. And there's no one to dance around the point. Xenofly can barely touch this. Dover Poly rising up here.
Well, it wasn't looking good for Dover Poly, was it, on control center? But, you know, after they get the recontest off of a very nice beat and speed and gauge, they were just able to hold on to the points from there. As we see Skizavan land an absolutely massive shatter. Everyone just lined up nicely in the hallway like a row of bowling pins. And yeah, more main tank. We've got quite a few main tank play of the games, haven't we? This competition already. It's quite rare to see.
I mean, maybe, but at that point, it was Melvon who actually set up the shatter for Skizavan there, because Melvon, I think he both booped Ampha away and killed him, so it double denies the shield, and it allows Skizavan to get those repeated nice shatters. Wow, like really, that is such a surprising outcome.
Yeah, and of course on the retake of the point by Dover Poly there in control center, both Reinhardt's going for the off shatter at the same time, but Skizavan just about landing his a fraction of a second earlier, and that single-handedly turns the team fight for Dover Poly, and it turns the entire map. So back and forth stuff here, but the mini reverse sweep will be completed by Dover Poly. They will take it 2-1 on control center, so it's match point pretty much.
Yeah, and this is gonna be really interesting to catch. We were just talking, right, Lumos, like how we really expected Barefree Carpark to win or like clean sweep, but this is everything but so far.
Yep, well, our players are going to take a short break, as are we, but we won't be gone for long. We'll see you back on the other side of this advertisement break. And we're back. We promised it would be a short break, and it was a quick break, I hope. So going to the second map of the series, as we alluded to earlier, it's loser's pick this time around. So no fixed map pool. Barrier Free Carpark, didn't manage to win Lijiang, so they have the map pick of Volskaya Industries on Assault. Now, we didn't see Assault for any of the 5 rounds yesterday, but we thought the playoffs, a pretty good opportunity to bring in some of this last map type that we have not yet seen. So, Try, what do you think is interesting to watch about an Assault map, especially in professional play?
Oh, I hate Assault maps so much, actually. Because, it's really anyone's game. I've seen like a 12-12 on this map, and I think most likely these comps that we'll be seeing could be both poke or rush. I mean, I really don't know. It really is anyone's game.
Well, I mean, I do hate playing on 2CP as well. No question about that. But in organized team play, it's quite different, right? If you can count on teammates to not just constantly feed, into point B like one at a time for 5 minutes, it can be not that bad a map type to play. And 2CP maps have, of course, given us some really iconic moments in the past in Overwatch League and even in pre-hour professional gameplay. So let's see if any of these teams can, help us recreate the magic of Assault maps here today. It will be Dover Poly against Barrier Free Carpark. Barrier Free Carpark will attack first, bringing out something different already. Ampha is on the Winston.
Yeah, and this is the rush, semi-rush comp that we're seeing versus, I think, somewhat of a poke from Dover Poly. So, yeah. Oh, this is going to be really a treat as Skizavan takes that first pick of Ampha. What is going on with Skizavan today? What a drastic change.
Yeah, it must have been a hack, I think, from Assyria on the Sombra onto the Winston of Barrier Free Carpark. The Sombra just popping up in the kill feed over there. So, probably not expecting the Sombra, honestly, if you're Barrier Free Carpark, right? Who runs the Sombra with a Reinhardt? It's not conventional at all. But, they are aware of the threat now. Let's see if they can approach this any differently.
It is definitely doable, and I think Skizavan's only getting these picks because his team enables it right now. And we see the flank from Deadpool. He's going on the high ground. Skizavan dangerously low as Immortality Field is popped early and destroyed. Skizavan dangerously low, trying to hold the shield for the team right now. Everyone is dangerously low, and Matrix gone. Ampha, however, Apple manages to get the first kill on Bubblekitty, and with Bubblekitty gone, that's a big chunk of DPS gone. However, Ampha popping his Primal Rage, big shatter on the side of Skizavan, wipes out the remaining members of Barrier Free Carpark.
And it was looking pretty good there for Barrier Free Carpark. They forced Dover Poly, all into that small room. The flank coming on the right from the Reaper and the Winston just holding off main. But the healing coming through from Neverino on the Batiste is just so fast. I think he used that Matrix and he's already halfway to another one. Ampha popped the Primal Rage. It lasted about 2 seconds before it was bursted right down. Here comes the Syrah with the EMP. But they see him coming.
Carpark, though, does have one tick. Oh, but that's quite bad for Ampha. He gets picked there, and then Bubblekitty early reset there.
Yeah, a bit of spy checking may have done some good for Berry Carpark. It's not spotting the Sombra, just running up literally from right behind them. The 5-man EMP, I don't think Claire had the sound barrier anyway. But yep, a clean, you know, cheap, relatively cheap fight win for Nova Poly. So Berry
They do have it now though. They do have that sound barrier now, yeah.
They do have quite a few ultimates to work with, including the Death Blossom and
already hacked, unfortunately, and Matrix is popped. Can Xenofly get anyone? No. But that does force a sound barrier from the side of Malphon. But Skeezavan will be the one who takes out Deadpool. Xenofly a bit of takes out his counterpart of Apple there, but Skeezavan takes out Bubblekitty with both the DPS gone. Can they still flip? The answer is yes, because Berry Carpark manages to finally get this point here.
Yep, and they invest the sound barrier and the Diva Bomb at the same time just to push into the room where Dover Poly were hiding. And from there, you know, Dover Poly had basically no space whatsoever to work with. Assyria, not great for farming an EMP. Chroma, you know, the McCree, no off angle to work with. And that's how Berry Carpark takes that fight. Assyria accompanying Deadpool up on the elevator. He's got the EMP ready to go. Oh, now's a good time to pop it.
Oh, that's big. Catches 6, I think, and Ibarino DPSing there, catches Ampha. Chroma with that huge high noon on Croissant, and with that, slowly but surely, Berry Carpark has to reset here.
Oh, I don't understand how Assyria is getting away with this. He's just standing there and no one's looking for him. He's just walking up behind the enemy team and hitting Q. So I think Berry Carpark do have to invest a bit more resources to checking for the Sombra. They find the Sombra that time around, but you know, they need to do it at the crucial moment when she has EMP and deny that perfect setup coming through from Dover Poly.
Here, Apple finds the opening pick on Bubblekitty. Ampha again dies shortly after. I think they're doing such a great job of trying to single out Ampha here because he doesn't have a single chance to use his Shatter. And then I think Bubblekitty, he plays really close to Ampha. He as well dies, you know, very, very fast.
Yeah, that time around, the Amp Matrix doing all the work as Syria, you know, gets back to farming, gets out of his life, but the Amp Matrix just nowhere to run for a Berry Carpark and just stood there and died, really, soaking up a ton of damage. Coming in soon with the Coalescence, that's how they will use this push, but Nimerino almost catching up the Croissant with that Amp Matrix charge. Chroma gets 4 of the flashbang. Oh, the shatter is absolutely massive, but there's bomb going into the back. Here comes some counter ultimates, but
a symphony of ultimates being
symphony of ultimates indeed. And at the end of the day, well, it's the EMP and bomb combo. A combination is old as time, really. And they will probably have to invest perhaps a few more of those ultimates than they would have liked, but they do continue to hold and keep it at no capture progress at all for Berry Carpark.
What is happening today? They were probably making those huge roster changes, completely changing the tempo of yesterday's game.
Yeah, very good job. And oh, look, Bubblekitty has to swap Sombra to match this EMP, to match the Sombra play from Assyria. So interesting switch right there.
He was Sombra in the last fight already. Croissant's opening up there with a Coalescence and manages to get Xenofly out of his mech. And Xenofly gone, Ampha might be a pretty easy target right now. Deadpool tried to flank there. Can't catch anyone. A sound barrier popped on the side of Dover Poly. Wait, Assyria is down, and that's a big EMP on the side of Berry Carpark. Maybe can they push this? Chroma says, no way, Jose, as he takes out Ampha and Deadpool. And Skeezavan takes out their main healer. It's so sad, but there's only 2 remaining members from Berry Carpark. Can Xenofly do this? Maybe he can.
Wow.
He gets his remech. Can he get the Diva mech kill? Oh, no, he doesn't. And Dover Poly just trying to desperately stall this Ampha coming back on the ball. And that is huge.
That's an insane fight that the baby Diva actually doing unironically so much work there.
Deadpool
doesn't have the EMP.
Apple gets spooked off the map by Ampha. And Skeezavan finds no people with their Shatter right there. It's Deadpool pops his ult on an empty backline. And Berry Carpark manages to take that round with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Well, everyone's talking about Baby Diva Remix. No one's talking about the work that a pistoling Baby Diva can do as a Xenofly single-handedly stops Assyria already from charging the EMP. Sends him back to spawn, Assyria comes back out. just to stall and gets taken out very quickly once again. So he never got that last sort of 30 to 40% needed for the EMP. And on the other side of things, Bubblekitty's EMP was great. It caught some overextended members of Dover Poly. Chroma doing his best to clutch things out and pull things back in favor of Dover Poly. But at the end of the day, Battlefield Carpark just consolidating on point nicely. And they take this point with 28 seconds to go. It wasn't looking great for them, but they seem to have found the clutch factor at the very last moment.
Seems like they're sticking with the comp that allowed them to get that second point. I mean, that just makes it really, really hard for Battlefield Carpark's remaining members to find angles to both poke and, dish out damage while not receiving any damage. I don't know, man. I really don't know about this comp.
Ampha's on the Wrecking Ball, which I do believe he's a bit of a Wrecking Ball specialist, so this may be more of a comfort pick sort of thing for Battlefield Carpark. But of course the Sombra on the other side will shut that ball down pretty hard. Having said that, Dover Poly are not rolling out with a Sombra. Here comes Ampha, sneaky from behind.
Doesn't get anyone, and Bubblekitty, I think that's the first hack on Assyria. Assyria going down, and that's a huge chunk of your setting up gone.
Yeah, I think Ampha's sudden appearance in the backline just split the attention of the tanks of Dover Poly just a bit, and the May of Assyria for Dover Poly just getting isolated ever so slightly. Bubblekitty, good farm there. Oh, actually gets Chroma. Okay,
and Assyria
bargain for.
Assyria changes to Sombra here, so it's a Sombra v Sombra, and I think the Sombra against a ball might be very, very good.
Yeah, it's an anti-Ampha pick.
It is an anti-Ampha pick.
Deadpool also showing us something different with the Echo, as Ampha nearly catches out the Reinhardt from Dover Poly, but the rotation is completed successfully. That window is going to scare away everybody from the set of Battlefield Carpark. Xenofly can't get out in time. He gets D-Max, and Ampha also taken down, isolated on the attacker side of that choke, and no tanks left suddenly for Battlefield Carpark. So just one M Matrix doing so much work for Dover Poly, and this defense is not going to hold, I don't think.
Yeah, Neighborino really shining here as the star support of Dover Poly, and not even, I don't think we can classify him as support anymore, as he's more of a DPS at this point. Assyria very dangerously close to his EMP. Oh, but both Sombras actually have EMP now.
So it's who gets the better EMP, who EMPs first. Can one Sombra cancel the other Sombra's EMP? We're about to find that out in the next 5 seconds.
Oh, that's a huge duplicate though on the side of Battlefield Carpark. Managed to get the duplicate before the MP goes off, and that allows him to stay in his mech. And the fake Echo already has his bomb, launches it, catches no one, but that's okay because the point is safe and secure as they
and you said that Deadpool got his clone off, his duplicate off just as the EMP hit, and that was absolutely critical because Bubblekitty had his EMP cancelled. Or either that or it hit absolutely nobody on Dover Poly, but both Sombras, investing EMP there, only the side of Battlefield Carpark getting hit with the EMP, so that could have gone very wrong very quickly for Battlefield Carpark. But yeah, the duplicated Diva doing so much work for Deadpool.
I mean, we are approaching yet another fight from Dover Poly right here, and that's a Shatter catches no one, but a huge nade lands onto them while Sound Barrier is being popped. Xenofly catching two on Apple and Myovon, and that's pretty big. Half your support line is down, and yet another big nade. However, Xenofly, oh, Baby Diva. Oh, is this a Baby Diva diff right here? As Dino is just really bringing that World Cup aim.
I think it might be. Probably was another Baby Diva kill right there onto a Reinhardt, no less. And Battlefield Carpark, now they've sort of stabilized a little bit. Both Sombras again have EMPs. Let's see if Bubblekitty can get his EMP off successfully this time. But the Wrecking Ball on the side of Battlefield Carpark just necessitates the higher tempo of play. You really have to disrupt the engage. There we go.
Bubblekitty? Everyone walks into Bubblekitty and he just needs to press Q. And with that, like almost all of Dover Poly is hacked. That's a huge stagger from the side of Dover Poly there.
I mean, speaking of disruptions, right? You see Dover Poly run forwards, Ampha rolls into them, knocks them backwards, and everyone gets hit by the EMP. So perfect setup for the side of barrier-free Carpark. Also, they are running the Ana, of course, so that's something different. She's able to stay a bit further back, just pumping that single target healing into the tanks. Can dodge an EMP more easily too, I would think. So good adaptations coming through from barrier-free Carpark. But now they will have to contend with the EMP from Assyria. Let's see how they path and spread out accordingly to avoid this.
Ampha does have his minefield here. Xenofly is trying to spy check. That's okay, they're very questionable on the side of barrier-free Carpark there. Oh, but Chroma gets the kill on Xenofly along with Skizavan. But his ult does catch off Apple. And that is both divas down from both teams, but it'll be Deadpool who reigns victorious, just showering the enemy with bullets from his revolver. And Croissant, though, hello? It's battle the support Sneeb versus Croissant.
Well, yeah, both teams really coming to play. There's some great macro sort of planning from both teams. You see, Dover Poly knows they can't just press Q with the Sombra EMP because barrier-free Carpark are so split up. So what do? They invest the Deadeye and the Amp Matrix to start with, just trying to disrupt the setup from Dover Poly, from barrier-free Carpark, force some members into vulnerable positions. But you know, they get split up at the same time. As Diva Bomb dropped by Xenofly, they can't capitalize fully on the EMP, and the kills go the way of barrier-free Carpark. So straight in, Skizavan, gets absolutely melted.
Questionable bubble, questionable jump.
And Bubblekitty lets go of another EMP, does get stunned in the middle of it, but doesn't matter, it does go off, and the kills will all go the way of barrier-free Carpark. So this hold is turning out to be very, very impressive for NTU.
Barrier-free Carpark now has successfully forced Skizavan off Reinhardt. So this really does give barrier-free Carpark here a chance to win, because clearly, apparently, his Winston was not as good as his Ryan.
Well, you know, it is hard to push for Reinhardt into third point of Skya. This ball's in a bit of trouble. He's anti. Can he get away? Can't get away.
Ooh, Ampha. And Asura almost wanted to stick. I wanted to call that out right now.
Yeah.
Isolating everyone off the point. And what? A nano boosted Diva catches Skizavan, and that's really big. Deadpool manages to stun Asura, and Asura falls. Diva Bomb on the side of Dover Poly catches no one right here, as Ampha is back and is going to power drive into every single one of them.
They're not going to let him get away. They're just going to go for these cleanup kills.
And they shouldn't, because it's 10 seconds on the clock here. Can they even touch? Skizavan touches.
Yeah. He managed to touch and the baby does take out Xenofly, but it's alright. As I'm not sure the Wrecking Ball actually managed to touch the point, or otherwise he got booped off quite quickly. But either way,
cooldown reset, I think.
Yeah, possibly. We have touched it a bit too early, but barrier-free Carpark just doing such a great job on defense, showing us the ability, showing us the understanding of how to play around the Wrecking Ball and the Sombra. Into a Sombra no less. So that's just some really great play coming out from barrier-free Carpark. They will tie the series up and will go to a decider map.
Yeah, as we've seen there, really a multitude of comps being even some kind of, as Lumos likes to put it, a Frankenstein comp being played on both teams, and somehow barrier-free Carpark had the better Frankenstein comp, winning with that ball. Coming in clutch for NTU there. Yeah,
I mean, Ampha is a ball player. That's his favorite pick, I do believe. He saw a lot of the Wrecking Ball from Ampha during last year's IVGF tournament. So no surprises, perhaps see him pull it out once again. And it's not the easiest pick in the world to make work. If your team isn't playing around you, isn't playing around your engagement and your power drives, it can be very difficult to get value as a Wrecking Ball. But the rest of NTU is stepping up and playing around their main tank player, and they will tie the series up. So that was a great map to see. And we will head into a hybrid map, I believe, for our last map of the day. Well, the last map of the round, actually, not the day. It's a bit early.
This is kind of like a tiebreaker here, as we head over to King's Row. And King's Row is such a beautiful map. I absolutely King's Row is everyone the crowd favorite right here. So what do you think are the comps that that could be played here the most?
Well, this is not a Wrecking Ball map, is it? If Volskaya Point B was one,
every map is a Wrecking Ball map.
Well, if you try hard enough and you're good enough, perhaps you can make it work. But Reinhardt comps definitely much more prevalent traditionally on hybrid. So we will see, I think that is the choice of Dover Poly, and it's a smart choice, right? We've seen them do better with the Reinhardt comp relative to the Winston or the Wrecking Ball comp, so I think they're just playing to their strengths, trying to force Barrier Free Carpark into playing some more suboptimal compositions, right? If they want to run the Wrecking Ball, or even to the Winston, that may make things a bit harder for them. It's not so easy to get value from these high mobility tanks, these dive tanks, on a map like King's Row. So I think we can definitely see what Dover Poly is going for here.
Yeah, and even in the professional league, we've seen so many great compositions being played. So it's really, they have a myriad of compositions to pick. So it's we will only see what both teams would decide to go with as we head on over to this next map pretty soon.
Yep, well, we are going to head into King's Row shortly. Can expect lots of Reinhardt Diva compositions, honestly. This has been the bread and butter of both teams throughout much of this round so far, particularly for the side of Dover Poly. And it's really up to Barrier Free Carpark to try and make something different happen, right? To either show us a better showing on the Reinhardt style compositions, or to come up with something inventive, maybe a double shield. Maybe you do after all go with the Wrecking Ball, maybe you just do some Moira and run at them. But they'll probably have to try something a bit different if they're going to make this work.
Do you think a Widow will pop up here?
I mean, it's entirely possible. It does allow you to avoid that, close range, a very brawly style of confrontation between Reinhardts. And, if you have the personnel, you have the hit scan talent to put it off, it's absolutely worth a try. On attack at least, where you can go back and swap if things aren't working.
Ooh, Assyria going up with that Hanzo. Yeah, this is a really good Hanzo map. You can just shoot down this one choke, and people would just instinctively walk to your arrows. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hanzo could be a very strong pick. Of course, the Dragon Strike is pretty good on this map as well. When it's so narrow, everyone's in one line, one straight file. It can do a lot of work in splitting teams up. So, Barrier Free Carpark, no Widow. Just going with actually Dover Poly attacking first, my bad.
Assyria probably got a headshot. Because look at that all charge. 29% already for Assyria. 45% for Assyria.
Yeah, he's just going to work on that opponent Reinhardt shield with this Hanzo. Barrier Free Carpark.
Those flicks.
Probably want to deny him space to do that. They are taking this close range fight quite proactively here on the statue. They do use both sides.
Already has Stand Matrix, and it's being used right now for Dover Poly to push in, and there's a response and Matrix, but it'll be Assyria who gets the first pick onto Deadpool, and with that, strangely, Dover Poly is retreating, but yeah, and excuse me, nice pick onto Bubblekitty. He just knew, I guess. Wall hex, nice. Storm arrow onto the Diva there, and everyone would just, like I said, just walk into your arrow.
Yeah, I think the M Matrix earlier, the first M Matrix on the side of Dover Poly, just forcing Barrier Free Carpark into a disengage. They nearly get the full disengage, but as they come in with their own M Matrix, who does get picked off, they push forward, get the kill on the opposing Reinhardt, but the closest spawn speed that Dover Poly eventually do clutch it out.
Assyria with another headshot on Bubblekitty. I don't know how he's finding these picks here, but it will be Ampha Xenofly combo killing almost the entire half of the Dover Poly. They managed to hold this choke here, and this gives space. This gives so much space for them to regroup here.
Yeah, I bet Dover probably weren't expecting that aggression to come out from Battlefield Carpark after they'd lost one member of the team already. But, you know, Battlefield Carpark pushes forward.
Oh, Dragon forces everyone off their position. So counter sound barrier has to be popped right here. Chroma. Oh, Skizavan actually managed to get a good shatter, catching a lot of people. Skizavan, Pepega charge, but it will be Deadpool with that death loss. Death loss managing to catch up the rest of Dover Poly and they hold yet again.
I mean, that fight went back and forth so many times. As the last few fights have gone, Chroma and Assyria now making some swaps, going over to Reaper Doomfist. When you are fighting in that tiny little choke with the payload blocking line of sight through the choke, Hanzo's a bit harder to make work. So the fight
really? No, because this might be worse though for Dover Poly, because Deadpool can now just farm off both Assyria. And yes, my prediction does hold true. However, that's not really needed because Dover Poly can finally find this opening by killing more members of the team. Nibarino really stepping up here, taking out Xenofly. And yeah.
Yeah, I think Battlefield Carpark got a bit greedy there. They tried to recontest at the choke when they were still missing some members, and the M Matrix comes out and isolates the two tanks from Battlefield Carpark, and they're just never able to get back into a stable position after that. But they will be able to take this clean 6v6 team fight. Bubblekitty with the Deadeye gets denied by Apple Steva. Oh, they spotted the Reaper.
But it'll be Skizavan who'll be emptying yet again, taking out Ampha with a fire strike. Sound barrier is popped. Deadpool's the only one, you know, stopping this card, but he falls shortly to Assyria, and they can actually finally push this second point.
Yep, and you know, the fight going the way of Dover Poly. Clearly, this team looks more comfortable on the Reinhardt compositions as last minute contest comes in. Oh,
big shadow from Skizavan yet again. But it'll be Xenofly who'll be catching off Malvan somehow. The counter sound barrier on the side of Battlefield Carpark as they try to recontest this. Deadpool, however, still falls despite this. And this gives Assyria just a chance to go, Chroma, go back into their backline, Death Blossom for free. And everyone is just trying to desperately hold this card at the 2-minute mark, but slowly but surely. And again, Battlefield Carpark will fall eventually.
Ampha being a bit annoying at the end. We'll stall the card out for a few more seconds. But to no avail, he'll have to go back, I presume, to the Reinhardt. Yep, there we go. Assyria and Doomfist, you know, just throws a wrench into the mix. How do you deal with the disruption, the CC coming in from this Doomfist if you are Battlefield Carpark? It's with, so much
with
to watch
Deadpool,
out for.
actually. With Deadpool. Deadpool is a perfect counter. What was that? Xenofly with a big whoop on the Nibarino. Oh, but Deadpool, nice Death Blossom. Oh, Xenofly really helping and just lifting, you know, Battlefield Carpark on his shoulders as he whoops deep off the map there. Oof.
Well, it was the Deadeye from Bubblekitty that did so much work. I think it definitely split Dover Poly into two, and the rest of Battlefield Carpark just choosing one side to go on and take the engagement. So here comes Odette, and Matrix may have been slightly misplaced from Croissant to verify in front. Libri noticed much better, and off of that Matrix, the rest of Dover Poly just going to push forward.
Yeah, and I was actually saying, so Deadpool is a perfect counter to Assyria, and Assyria's just falling in every one of these team fights, but really, other than that, Deadpool is kind of a low impact on these fights.
Yeah, I think just not able to find the tempo needed for the Reaper to get into close range. Having said that, well,
Deadpool once again finds a very good pick.
Yeah, Bubblekitty, I think Apple just sacrifices his mech to deny the rest of the Deadeye, but kills will be traded out. The barrier is forced from Battlefield Carpark, ironically, but it's just the Reinhardt left on point now for Dover Poly. The cleanup will come through, and well, Dover Poly still want to fight this, but they're definitely running out of steam. Ampha over to the ball once again to stall. He's going to go back to the switch. And yeah, it is harder for a Doomfist to set up now, right? You can't really take many flanks when the payload is all the way at the back of point. This just gives Bubblekitty and Deadpool a bit more room, a bit more breathing space to cover the angles that they need. Here comes the Matrix. Oh,
the
Ampha just
Matrix.
immediately falls.
Oh, it just melts to that. And Xenofly trying to get this bomb. Can he do it? He catches both the Immortality Shield and Melman, and that is big. Apple takes out Bubblekitty, however. Bubblekitty actually picked off Assyria, and that's a big counter bomb catching off two, both Claire and Xenofly. As Ampha goes once again back to the ball. Nice Death Blossom on the side of Verific Carpark. Catches out their opponent's Reaper, but is it all for naught? Maybe or maybe not. Apple,
All about the stall now if you are Verific Carpark.
Apple is making this stall negligent as Verific Carpark cannot touch the point.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good when the bomb just caught one out, and a few more kills went in the way of Verific Carpark. Obviously, the spawns are so much closer for the defender there on last point, but Dover Poly just able to back off for a little bit, come back and regroup, and deal with the ultimates coming out from Verific Carpark, and eventually they get enough of a numerical advantage to push through the payload with 29 seconds remaining. It's an almost identical time bank actually to what Verific Carpark kept for Skya with. Just a fun fact.
Yeah, but this is a really close fight. Dover Poly only has 30 seconds left, so all that Verific Carpark needs to do is cap it all the way. And you know, regardless, both teams, if they cap it all the way, if Verific Carpark caps it all the way, both teams, we will head to another round on King's Row.
Indeed, and well, Verific Carpark clearly not looking that comfortable running the Reinhardt. Ampha showing the ball. In fact, they may just stick with this because Bubblekitty's on the Sombra and they do have the Ana Brick support lineup. So, Verific Carpark thinking that it's time for a change. Something very different. I mean, that's pretty much what they ran on for Skya, to be fair, but to bring that out on King's Row, that's certainly quite innovative.
This is very good, actually, because this gives both the DPS so much space, and we've seen how, you know, Deadpool and Bubblekitty work miracles when they have so much space.
Yep, Claire switching over to Lucio. Not much value from the brick.
Bubblekitty just early hack onto the Ryan.
Oh, that's a nice collapse with the Wrecking Ball. Thought the Immortality Field right there.
Oh, and Assyria gets caught out. I think being the only member trying to flank here, Deadpool, with that 6th sense there catching him. But Nibarino does take out Xenofly's mech. Huge power driver from Ampha. Again, destroys Skizavan's shield, and with that, Verific Carpark has the space needed to push in here. Desperately trying to solve the point. Yeah, Xenofly
doesn't matter.
Yep. Nanoed for maybe some early ult charge, and a Verific Carpark. Very, very strong.
Yeah, I think Nano charges quite quickly in this composition that Verific Carpark is running, so no harm in letting that one go a bit quickly. But yeah, Dover Poly not entirely sure really how they were going to deal with this new approach coming out from Verific Carpark. Enough of that, it's a very quick point A cap. The cleanup is still continuing, so this payload phase may just come down to one. The streets phase may come down to just one more fight at the very end, because Dover Poly will need some time to regroup and recontest this.
Yeah, and they're pushing up really far forward, which is kind of good. It buys, you know, it buys Verific Carpark so much of space here, and we saw how Verific Carpark managed to chip off 2 minutes after time bank from Dover Poly just by playing this choke. So this gives
The
Verific Carpark.
EMP. There we go, massive.
Yeah, Chroma gets the pick of Bubblekitty, but the damage has already been done as Deadpool can now mop up Assyria and Chroma. Oh, sorry, Assyria's still alive. Chroma is dead with the high noon, and Skizavan gets a 0-man shatter. Ampha trying to harass the backline even more. Deadpool just clicking hits, taking out both the support line for Dover Poly, and Verific Carpark almost uncontested in this.
Well, I mean, you see that it was the easiest EMP in the world, Bubblekitty, because Dover Poly didn't have the time to clear out that high ground. Couldn't take the time to route out the staircase you're seeing here on the left and clear out any potential Sombra or Wrecking Ball they may have been hiding there. The fight did take a bit longer than expected. Dover Party almost get back to recontest, but they're not able to do so, and they will drop a Lucio on the way out. It's not over yet. Oh, that's a beautiful combination. I think the power drivers on the Wrecking Ball.
Really making big plays with his nades. There. His nades just found so many people.
Yep, and that's forced a bit of a switch actually from Dover Poly. Skis run over to the Winston, something a bit more mobile to do with the Sombra, get away from the Sombra more importantly. There's Ampha trying to hold this high ground. Here comes the minefield. It's going to be huge. It's going to get so much value.
It doesn't really catches anyone, but Deadpool now get the kill on a very low Melva, and Rampo responds with a big Diva Bomb. Catches both Ampha and Bubblekitty. And Ampha manages to get a kill finally on the Skizavan, but
well, they're turning the fight.
Yeah, they are still turning this fight, so it is still anyone's game at this point. Ampha showing dominance here on his Wrecking Ball.
Oh, this Reaper stall, this Reaper death is so bad. They needed that Death Blossom on point. This Deadeye is...
It's a big zoning Deadeye. Big boom from Ampha allows Deadpool to get 3. Oh, this is high level communication right here. Oh, this is really good for Battlefield Carpark. Time bank of 4 minutes, 36 seconds.
I mean, was that push amazing or what? He just came back in. You know, I don't know how the Diva Bomb from Apple caught 2. They caught, you know, the Sombra and the Wrecking Ball. You think those 2 characters would get out of the way safely. And you think, you know, Dover Poly can turn the fight off of that. But Battlefield Carpark just, they reconsolidate the remaining members of their team. They get together, stabilize, heal up, and just so efficient with the way that they call targets. So efficient with how they use their ultimates to combo their ultimates and get huge value out of what they had, what limited resources they had. So just very, very solid play from Battlefield Carpark, and they are rewarded with a massive time bank, 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yeah, Dover Poly really lined up there for Ampha to get that boop off. It's like saying, boop me please. Because they were trying so hard to avoid, you know, that high noon, but they just didn't keep Ampha in check.
Well, the ball coming to play. We said it would be hard to make it work here on King's Row. Well, Ampha is certainly making it work, alright. And actually a swap from Dover Poly. It's Apple playing the Winston and Skizavan on the Zarya. So the double bubble from Dover Poly, something completely different. A Chroma on the edge, so like a long-range poke comp undoubtedly is what Dover Poly are running.
And
they take this defense.
We finally see the Echo Mercy, but it gets shot down by Xenofly, who's no stranger to this comp. And for a big power drive onto Chroma, and with that, Deadpool can now just mop Dover Poly up here with his revolver. Oof.
Doors and corners kid, they didn't check the flank. It was a free flank for Bubblekitty on the Sombra. He almost catches out Assyria, but Assyria recalls in time.
Nice reaction by Assyria there.
But he must know now that there's a Sombra there, which will compromise Bubblekitty's location ever so slightly. I think Ampha is slapped in the back.
Oh, Xenofly takes out Apple, but Chroma takes out Ampha. But Ampha can quickly recontest this because he's the ball, and Xenofly manages to catch up Skizavan there. Claire takes out Asura, and this is kind of the Hail Mary as Melvan just tries to desperately touch this. Oh,
they couldn't get anything going there, Dover Poly, with the double bubble composition. Just no time for the backline to set up, no time to coordinate a dive with, you know, the burst damage from the Echo, together with the Winston going in with the Zarya bubble. Perhaps this team not too practiced running a double bubble, having been forced onto it. And away from the Reinhardt comp that wasn't really working against the Wrecking Ball. So this is going to be a miracle hold if they can pull it off. 4.5 minutes for Battlefield Carpark, you know, to use a Sombra EMP with Power Drive and a Deadeye to get just 1 tick.
Realistically, all that Battlefield Carpark has to do is just get 1 pick. And because like the spawn for Dover Poly is so far away, you know, Battlefield Carpark can just keep recontesting because they have the spawn advantage here. And with 4 minutes on the clock to cap one tick. I don't know about you, man, but normally I've never personally full held here.
Well,
One tick.
it's either desperation or inspiration for Dover Poly, as we see the double shield coming out. You know, just to
That was very good.
deny, yeah, just to hard deny, I suppose, the Sombra EMP farm. I suppose that's why they're thinking of the Deadpool. Brings out the Widow. Been wanting to see the Widow all day.
Yeah, Dover Poly is no stranger to this, so Deadpool has to swap to a McCree. Xenofly already aggressively taking it
out.
Yeah,
That's it.
Deep, and that is game. Yeah, that is game. Ampha takes off too, but they forgot about the point. But they couldn't punch anyways.
Yeah, that point couldn't have been kept any quicker if Dover Poly were all starting in spawn. Double shield
capture point.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to say about that? The momentum from Barrier Free Carpark absolutely immense once they got this attack going. You see, that's Deadpool.
No, that's not Deadpool. That was all Ampha.
That was all Ampha. The wrecking
that was
ball
all
there.
Ampha.
That's exactly how a wrecking ball should play. That's exactly what you want from a good wrecking ball. I mean, and I'm glad that we got to see a wrecking ball, played at a high level, not just as a stall pick in this map. We haven't seen much of it this tournament, so it's great to see some more variety, some new looks shown by Barrier Free Carpark.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And you really got to commend Syria for playing Echo Mercy, because that's something that we talked about at the beginning of this stream. Echo Mercy is very strong, but as you said, they just failed to set up. And it is very hard to set up on an Echo Mercy in 1 minute. So yeah, but still, it was a good attempt from Assyria.
Good attempt at adaptation, but as you said, the double bubble comp is a pretty slow comp. You can't just all press shift and go. You need time to set up, to farm energy for your Zarya, to get your Zarya on the high ground, and just rushing in there like that generally doesn't work. So that didn't go quite as planned for the double bubble comp of SP, of the Dover Poly. They will be knocked down into the lower bracket, but thankfully it is a double elimination tournament or format that we have on the second day. So we will, in fact, be seeing Dover Poly in our very next match, because we are bringing to you the lower bracket semi-final. It will be between Dover Poly and between Tampines Poly. In the meantime, though, before that, let's wrap up this match with a Player of the Match award. It is going to none other than Xenofly. Yeah, I mean, we've talked so much about the Diva play coming out from the teams of this tournament, but in particular from Barrier Free Carpark. It's a bomb. Absolutely critical on this point of Volskaya to gain the momentum that Barrier Free Carpark needed to hold onto this defense. I believe this is the clutch. Yes, this was the clutch Baby Diva play. And Asura, man, you can't just walk in a straight line like that. You are going to die to a Baby Diva even.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about Ampha's ball, but it was Xenofly that was consistently dishing out those huge plays. And yeah, giving Ampha to run amok with that ball.
And you don't normally think of the self-destruct as, the biggest ultimate in the world. It's not the highest value ultimate in the world. Sometimes you get DMAC this Diva and you go, oh, well, I'll just press Q and get it back in like 5 seconds, right? So to be able to consistently get value from your self-destructs just adds that additional win condition for your team. And it just adds this additional channel through which you can win the team fight that wasn't going your way to try and get back in the ultimate economy game. And so that's what we saw, I think, there from Xenofly. So congratulations, you will take our first play of the match of the day. But we have some more matches coming up for you. Obviously, that was just the beginning. So here's a quick update on the other scores, on the other half of the bracket. The clean 2-0 for Geiger Counter over Tampines Poly in the other winners semi-final. So Geiger Counter and Barrier Free Carpark, they will go through to play in the winners final, the upper bracket final. We won't be bringing that match to you on stream because we have scheduling and time constraints. We will, however, show you the losers semi-final between Dover Poly and Tampines Poly. Both teams probably will be out for a bit of revenge, out for some, vengeance after losing the upper bracket semi-final.
As Tracer likes to say, have I had that feeling of deja vu? Because this is double deja vu right here.
Absolutely.
We've got semi-finalists yet again, and we've got the Polys at it back again. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
It will be very interesting to see. It was a bit of a roll yesterday, to be honest. But let's see whether Tampines Poly has anything in store for us. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Let our players get into the lobby, let our admin sort things out, and when we come back, we will have the losers semi-final.